welcome to the first teardown portion of our video card series. So today we're going to be doing a teardown and also a very slight cleaning and refurbishment, reapplying thermal paste and whatnot to the X600 from ATI. I actually have two of these. It's part of a eBay ordering discrepancy. There's not much to them, but you have to be a little careful taking them apart and whatnot, so that's what some of these tools are for. So I have a basic computer toolkit. And the thermal compound we're going to be using is Arctic MX2, as it's cheap and plentiful, and I have a lot of cards to do this to. A little plastic prier and scraper tool, because plastic's a lot more easy on the electronics. Needle nose pliers, that's specifically for these type of cards, but we might have to use them later too. Isopropyl alcohol for cleaning thermal paste and other things we find if necessary, and that's also what the paper towels are for too. And a little water for myself, because it's kind of hot under these soft lights. So we might not really need any of these tools because as you'll see here, we'll go ahead and start with this one. So they don't have any screws holding the heatsink on. It's actually just two little pins. So we'll pop that off here in a second. We'll just do a little inspection. I've already had both these cards running though, so both of them seem to perform quite well. But they don't actually have any temperature gauges on them. Apparently these are either too old or too cheap to bother with that, or they just run cold enough that maybe thermals wasn't an issue when they were manufactured. But yeah, so I'd like to do it just in case they are burning up when I'm running them. There's the DMS59 port we talked about in the regular video. But yeah, all right, so let's get started. We'll go ahead and put the cleaning stuff aside because we don't have anything to clean right now. These look pretty clean. Nothing, there's no dust, there's no fans, obviously. They're passive cooling only through the heatsink. Okay, so put these away. So the way you get this apart here is, like I said, there's only two pins holding this thing together, so it's kind of rickety. But it does its job, and like I said, they run pretty cool. Or, well, the ones that actually do have thermal gauges on them that I do have that are similar to these run pretty cool. So yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and pop this off. So you need needle nose pliers to be able to get this off. You just have to be careful because you don't want to damage the electronics, obviously. So you don't want to scrape any of the little components off. But there are two little nubs here. You just have to squeeze them and that should pop off here. Let's go ahead and do that without damaging anything, would be nice. It's kind of hard to do, but yeah, so I have to kind of push a little bit on the back here. Let's see. There we go. All right, so that one's through. I just have to get this one off. A little bit more. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so let's take a look at the inside here. And I did actually reapply initially when I got this one. I think this is one of the first ones that I got, part of the collection. This one I don't think was the one I reapplied stuff on, but we'll do it on both because I don't remember. So it doesn't look like this though. This looks factory, and it is, well, it's kind of tacky still. That's pretty amazing after all these years. No wonder it's not running too hot. Okay, so let's view the board. There's the chip there, the die. Not a whole lot going on with these. Memory modules, front and back. And there's no cooling solution for these. I'm assuming they don't get too hot. All right, cool. So we got that one off. So we're gonna do it one at a time so I don't screw anything up. So let's get some isopropyl alcohol. Put this over there. And get some paper towels. Let's fold this up nicely, nice and small. And oh, this is actually a new bottle, so probably should have opened this beforehand, but that's all right. Make sure that's on tight. I'm gonna spill it all over the table. All right. Dab a little bit on there, so I got a little bit of alcohol there, and I don't know, we might have to get this pretty small just to get a little bit in the center, because I'm probably not going to bother taking off this entire thermal square because it only really touches in the center, so we'll just kind of clean it up in the center a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, cool. That's mostly off. Now, also, side note with this particular isopropyl alcohol, I originally had about 70%, I believe it was, because I use it for my glasses cleaning because it's mixed. For the most part, you can add a little more water and it cleans it up, but for electronics, you want at least, highest I could find at my local store was 91. So close to 100 is preferable, obviously, because you don't really want water touching electronics, obviously. So, all right, so the heatsink is clean-ish. Like I said, we don't need to take off everything, though I guess we could. Let's just get a good area on there, just so that it's gonna be nice and flat in the center is what we want. We don't want any residue when we put some new stuff on here. Let's just scrape a little bit, see if anything comes off. Yeah, I think we got most of it, which is fine. Like I said, thermal is not too important on these, but it's better to do it than to have not. All right, so let's fold this back over this way. And to make it real small because we don't really want to touch these little guys here too much anyway. Thankfully this stuff is pretty gushy, so I doubt this was reapplied because like I said, this one looks pretty much factory. So whatever stuff they used was pretty decent to have lasted since 2004, or whenever this was manufactured. I'm assuming 2004. That's what comes up in GPU-Z. So if you can see here, there we go. Hopefully my camera is focusing. We got a nice little chip here. ATI logo, Radeon. Let's see if I can read this. Yeah, PCI Express, Taiwan. And just some serial numbers here. Yeah, Radeon X, and then maybe it says, probably can't see that, but right there, those little baby letters is the X, and then maybe a number, but it just looks like a square to me, so I don't know. Get it a little closer. Hopefully the camera will focus in on that, but it's like right there. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and apply a little thermal paste now, and And since these are very, very tiny little chips, oh boy, I can get this off. Boy, that's really on there. Okay, there we go. As I was saying, they're really tiny, so we are going to want to apply the tiniest amount, although there isn't really any components here, and this is non-conductive anyway, but still there's no need to have huge amounts of it on here. So let's go ahead and put a little dollop. Yeah, that's probably plenty. All right. Make sure that's on tight. All right, cool. And that's pretty much it. So now we just have to pop this thing back on and make sure, see if there's a way to kind of squeeze these back together. So we don't want them to be damaged, obviously. These don't look, they're not screws, obviously, so they don't look like they're supposed to be taken on and off 1,000 times. So let's see, let's use this one as reference. Yet another reason why you don't want to do too many things at once here. Make sure that make sure you get it back the right way. So we got our heatsink, so it should pop back on just like that. Let's go ahead and do that. And line that up like so. Alright, cool. I should be able to just apply a little pressure here and also on the back. And just pop right through there. Alright, cool. That one's on. And push. Just push a little harder, make sure it's clicked on there well enough. Looks like it's on okay. Yeah, it's not moving around too much, so hopefully that'll hold it in there good. All right, so there we go. So that one is done, ready to go. Just gonna check here for anything real dirty, and there's not really, so I don't even think I'll bother cleaning anything because it's this, but all of these came out of Dells, I'm assuming, from some business or commercial use, so they probably stayed really nice and clean, unlike some of the other cards you'll see later. One of them actually didn't work, so I had to take it apart and see if I could get it working, which thankfully it started working and stopped artifacting, so we'll be able to use that in a video. But it was way worse. It was absolutely filled with cat hair and people stuff. I don't know, disgusting, but I had to clean it up, and unfortunately you won't see that on video because I already did that to get it working. But we will at least be able to tear it apart. All right, push this down here. This one actually might have been the one that I took apart. Oops. Make sure we didn't break anything. Nope. Okay, cool. We're good. Like I said, you just gotta be careful when you apply pressure. So, yeah, this was actually probably the one I took apart beforehand a long time ago. Let's see, do I have anything to push? Let's use some plastic. Yeah, that should work. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's actually hard to tell. I'm not sure if this is the one I did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do both of them anyway. It's a little different, isn't it? So this looks like they didn't really paint the bottom for some reason. Kind of strange. It's not as black painted. It's more metallic. Ugh. All right. Put that up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing. Let's start with the heat sink, and I think might have enough cleaning solution to be able to do this other one without having to put some more on. All right, just get the center here. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's clean up nicely. This one's a little harder. As you can see, it's flaking all over my desk. That's all right. Can always clean it up later. Okay. That should be pretty good. Get the center nice and clean. Scrape a little bit off here. Just make it even. Okay. Might need another piece. Oh no, here we go. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, now I just need to clean this guy off. Dust flying everywhere. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape the rest off because it's pretty much clean. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So if you can't get the rest of this off, a little bit on the corner. And yeah, there we go. That's good. So let's take a look at the chip here, see if it's the same. Yeah. It looks exactly the same, which it should be. They're both X600s. They probably vary just by whenever they were manufactured and maybe where they were manufactured or binned or whatnot. So this one is also made in Taiwan. So like I said, they're probably extremely similar. They probably manufactured around the same time. But yeah, so let's go ahead and finish this up here. Just a little bit of stuff here. Okay, that's good. And just move it around and put too far on the top side. Okay, there we go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as there's a good amount on there. Okay, so let's see, where we gotta go. This way. No, this way. Yeah. All right, so now we just need to push it back on. It is interesting to note the way these heat sinks go. I was just noticing that the longer part here seems to stick over the memory modules. So, but there's no pads, there's no connection to it, so I'm not sure if that was just part of the design or not. Okay, get that back in here. Let's see. Apply a little pressure. Okay. Boy, that one doesn't want to go in. I have to use a little plastic tool again. Push in here. Okay, come on. There we go. Click, that's always a good sign. Okay, cool. And yep, well, looks all right. See, it's a little spring loaded, so they don't hold them on too hard. So like I said, this type of thermal it's not very great, but obviously these cards probably don't run very hot. So it's just the little spring pegs that hold these on, so don't mess with them too much if you have one of these. So they probably won't last too long. Keep messing with it. So there we go. All right, cool. So We have successfully reapplied thermal paste. There wasn't really any cleaning to do. The teardown was extremely simple, but there you go. That's pretty much it. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. This was the teardown and cleaning and reapplying of thermal paste of the two ATI Radeon X600s that we have. So thanks a lot. And if you want to support us, subscribe, like if you want to, and also go ahead and check out our Patreon. And we should have a direct to PayPal link if you prefer that instead pretty soon. So yeah, thanks, and you guys have an awesome one.